Hello, mathematicians. Today we're going to be learning about ratios, more specifically about tape diagrams and equivalent ratios. To get us started, here we have a tape diagram with chocolates and gummy candies. So if we look at the squares for chocolates, we have 2 chocolates. And if we look at the squares for the gummy candies, we have 3. So that means in total we have 5 candies. Now we're going to create a chart with equivalent ratios that maintains the fact that there are 2 chocolates for every 3 gummy candies. So to start us off, we're going to write down 2 for chocolates, 3 for gummy candies, and 5 for total. And if we want to maintain our ratio, every time we add 2 more chocolates, we're going to add 3 more gummies. And then that means we're going to have another total of 5 candies. So if we add 2 more chocolates, we get 4 chocolates. If we add 3 more gummy candies, we get 6. And now in total, we have 10 candies. And again, we're going to maintain that ratio. So we're going to add 2 more chocolates and get 6, 3 more gummy candies and get 9. And then that means that now we have a total of 15. And then we're going to go ahead and continue that pattern so that we could create equivalent ratios on this table. And remember that we could keep going on forever, so we're going to just stop here. So now we have our first question, which says, if there are 14 pieces of chocolate, how many pieces of gummy candies will there be? So the important information here is, if there are 14 pieces of chocolate, how many gummy candies will there be? So we're talking about chocolates and gummies, and we're going to look on our table for where it says 14 pieces of chocolate. So if there are 14 pieces of chocolate here, we're going to go ahead and look down at the gummy candies and notice that that would be 21. So if there are 14 pieces of chocolate, then there will be 21 pieces of gummy candies. So our next question says, if there are 15 pieces of gummy candies, how many pieces of chocolate will there be? So we're going to go ahead and look at our table for 15 pieces of gummy candies. And if there are 15 pieces of gummy candies, that means that there are going to be 10 pieces of chocolate. So our next question is, if there are 18 pieces of gummy candies, how many total pieces of candy will there be? So we're going to look for 18 pieces of gummy candies on our table. And then we're going to look down at how many total pieces of candy we have. So if there are 18 pieces of gummy candies, then there will be 30 total pieces of candy. Our next question says, if there are 12 pieces of chocolate, how many total pieces of candy will there be? So we're going to look at our table for 12 pieces of chocolate to figure out how many there are in total. So here we have 12 pieces of chocolate, and then if we look at our total, then that means we're going to have 30 total pieces of candy. Our next question says, if there are 20 total pieces of candy, how many gummy candies will there be? So we're going to look in our chart for 20 total pieces of candy, and then see how many gummy candies there will be. So if there are 20 total pieces of candy, then there will be 12 pieces of gummy candies. Our next question says, if there are 40 total pieces of candy, how many pieces of chocolate will there be? So we're going to look in our table for 40 pieces of candy to figure out how many pieces of chocolate there will be. So here we have 40 total pieces of candy. And if there are 40 total pieces of candy, then there will be 16 pieces of chocolate.